Yeah.
For target refraction. And expressing something like that would be great in this some way.
Yeah, I think so. I completely agree. Yeah, I think what would be good is, I mean, James, if it makes sense, it would, I think having somebody on your team, help, look at the data, and obviously be, co-authoring on the paper, I think would be, Mark, we talked a little bit about that last week. I think it'd be, especially if you have a fellow or somebody or who needs to do some publishing. And we, I think as a next step, what we should do is probably talk to Thilo, Mark, and see how we can access those additional, those patients that he's done over the years.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's going to be, I think we've got an article coming out whenever he's talking about that in the June issue of CRST, and CRST Europe. Just so James, because they've got a big data issue coming up.
Right.
Other points, questions we should be thinking about, Mark, that I haven't brought up?
I guess we'll just have to check with him again about consent.
Yeah.
To share that data. So.
Yeah, we already know his ethics committee. Because most of the German ethics committees don't outright approve retrospective studies, but they will give you a letter saying, you can conduct the study. The other thing that we'll do is we'll register it with the German the German clinical database. I can't remember the acronym right now. So we'll get it registered there, so that also will qualify for JCRS publication.
Perfect.
We probably should get Simon involved as well. In fact, he was literally just at the site. I think it was about 2 days ago.
Okay.
So yeah, I can do that. It's not a problem. And like you said, we can use that to convene maybe a conversation, around this and around the data in particular.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think that's, and just understanding what kind of shape it's in. Because obviously the RayPro output is easy. But if he's, it's stuck on some spreadsheet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My favorite. Okay. James, any questions on your part or other points that you think we should be thinking about?
No, I think that's the best way forward. Once we've seen the data, then we can have a sort of go at understanding how easy it will be to untangle and make a story from it.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Mark and I will take that on as an action item then.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
All right.
Did we want to talk at all about the possible ESCRS sort of users meeting roundtable that we were discussing, or we were discussing potentially doing that together as well? Or if there would be an opportunity in what we were talking about previous.
Hear that?
Yeah, what is that?
That's the construct there. I live on a 1-lane square in a village, and they've decided to build a house, and so the construction trucks just block us in all day long. So that's somebody getting angry. So anyway, so James, we're talking about doing a RayPro user meeting at ESCRS. And the idea is to, this starts at 7 a.m. every day. Okay. And to bring together the users to, I think, one, probably talk about some of the enhancements that are being done, but also just, I think, convene a session to find out how they're using it, what we can do better, all these kinds of things. We used to do this a lot at Intralace, and it would just be a closed meeting of users, and sometimes it got very loud, and especially in the early days of Intralace when the laser did not work so well. I don't think we'll have that problem, but yeah, just to have a very open discussion and exchange.
Yeah, I think that's very sensible.
Okay.
Yeah, and we thought, tying in potentially a bit of a discussion on the future of digital health and where that's taking us and how times are changing. We've had a couple of fascinating conversations around how COVID has broken down barriers in sharing data